Welcome back to Press Review. Let's start by taking a look at today's front pages in the Middle East. Starting with the Egypt Independent, which reports that US Democrat Senator Patrick Leahy, chairman of the Senate Appropriations Subcommittee responsible for aid programs, has said that he will not approve aid for the Egyptian army unless he sees convincing evidence of the Egyptian government's commitment to the rule of law. It also reports that Israeli forces have demolished several structures, including a mosque in a Palestinian village, as the peace talks deadline expired. Lebanon's Daily Star reports that Speaker Nabih Berri has adjourned the second round of presidential elections after several lawmakers boycotted the parliamentary session, which failed to secure quorum. The paper also reports that Health Minister Wael Abu Faour has said Lebanon was stepping up its defences against the deadly MERS virus. Israel's Jerusalem Post reports that the 9-month deadline for the Israeli-Palestinian talks expired on Tuesday, with the sides trading blame and the chief mediator, US Secretary of State John Kerry, issuing a statement not about progress but about how he did not think Israel would become an apartheid state. The paper also reports that anger gripped the village of Foradis after unidentified vandals sprayed graffiti on a mosque and slashed dozens of tyres the previous night in a suspected price tag attack. From Saudi Arabia, the Arab News reports that Saudi Arabia has warned that it is ready to defend its territory if attacked, as the kingdom held its largest military exercise with 130,000 soldiers of its armed forces. It also reports that health authorities have announced 3 new deaths from the MERS coronavirus as a group of experts met to discuss means of preventing the spread of the disease. The UAE's Gulf News reports that Saudi Arabia is launching a campaign to persuade the elderly, pregnant women and people with chronic diseases to postpone Hajj this year in a bid to prevent the spread of the MERS virus during the pilgrimage season. It also reports that as Iraqis go to the polls to elect a new parliament, Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki's State of Law party looks poised to win the most seats against a fractured opposition. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East news from UK papers. The Guardian leads its Middle East news reporting that the Jordanian government and the UN have officially opened a new camp for refugees from the war in Syria, with the potential to become one of the world's largest refugee camps. The paper says although the first refugees began arriving on Monday, the camp, which currently has shelters for 25,000 and infrastructure for 50,000, has been designed to expand to 130,000 if necessary. The Independent reports that watchdog group Peace Now has said that Israel increased settlement work fourfold during the latest round of peace talks, pushing ahead with the construction of nearly 14,000 homes in the West Bank and East Jerusalem. The group cited Israel's construction surge as a key reason for the failure. And the Telegraph reports that Iraq's general election is going underway amid the country's worst terrorist violence in 6 years, with 2 entire cities unable to vote because of fighting. The paper says a massive security operation has been put in place to try to protect voters from a resurgent al-Qaeda, which has threatened to kill any Iraqi who takes part. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East news in international papers. From China, the Global Times leads its Middle East news reporting that the US offered a reward of up to $5 million for a Chinese businessman accused of supplying missile parts to Iran, and targeted companies from China and Dubai for allegedly helping Iran evade weapons and oil sanctions. And finally, the Los Angeles Times reports that the chairman of a key Senate panel has blocked $650 million in military aid for Egypt. The paper says, though US officials are eager for Egypt to move against the growing terrorist threat in the Sinai Peninsula, in part to protect Israel, they are not convinced that the government will move on a more democratic path as it has promised. And for more updates, please visit Levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.